Alright, so I thought about it and I do want to do a video about things that I hold. Just naming them out loud, I feel like will help me better to address them. So the things that I hold very hard, strong in my heart, is definitely the relationship between me and my parents. My mom and my dad. My dad in particular, very in particular. Um, I feel like mom is a lot more easier to talk to, a lot more accountable to things of the past, and it's easier to talk to her. It's not always easy for me to be honest with myself, but usually when I am and when I do, it's very easy to talk to her. Dad, on the other hand, is a whole nother, like, it's just, I don't know what the fuck I'm getting anytime I'm dealing with him. And I want to, of course, like, this is my dad. I love him, I know him. I grew up with him. It's not like I have this resentment, like, oh, my daddy. Like, I mean, he's a lot of things, but I do remember growing up and being around him and, his personality and all these things that he likes and, shit that you do know about somebody that you love, right? And yet, still to this day, and I get 30 years later, here we are, playing these reindeer games of like, do you love me or not? And I don't know, man. I do, but you hurt me, you hurt me a lot and you continue to hurt. So it's hard to believe that things can be different. I do wish they were different, and I'm always here for when you are ready for them to be different. But until then, I feel it's safer to keep my distance, but it does hurt. It hurts me very, very much. It hurts me very much, especially knowing the things that have happened. Some things that were crazy, just fucking crazy. But that's what that shit do to you. It makes you crazy, And I have empathy for a human being who falls, who falls hard. Because this world is hard. Life is hard. It's difficult. I see that. I see that shit. I understand that shit. But it doesn't give you the right to lash out onto others. Definitely not your children. I just don't think that it's our fault that your life ended the way it did, or this is the way it is. Especially when I'm trying to live my own life, and I'm really trying to find out who I am, what I am, and the last thing I want to be is you. As a lot of us around this age, like we said we wanted to be better than our parents, and honestly, I feel like I'm right there with my parents. Not to say that, that's bad or anything, but I feel like a human being, and I understand how human beings, they fall sometimes. I understand that, and I accept that, because I fall a lot. And I have the faith in myself to, well, sometimes I have enough faith in myself to get back up. And I do, and I have, and that is something that I've had to build and grow upon every day of my life, and that's something I'm always going to have to live and grow on every day of my life. And anybody that gets in the way of that, it's just, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if you get in the way of my fucking peace of mind and my growth in my path, because that's what we're here for. I hope that in my story, in my path, that at least that person, could see. I may not have, been who I wanted to be, but I created this person, who is free to be who they are. I don't know, but I know. So that's one thing I've been holding, and another thing I've been holding is just this kind of uncertainty with where my life is headed, where my life is going, who the fuck I am. I know who it is I am, and I know what I believe, but I also physically am exhausted. Like, exhausted. And I think it's a little bit that I don't take care of myself, and it's a little bit that I don't see the system getting better. And it's like an exhausting battle to deal and be within it every day. feeding the bees, going to a job that you hate, working with people who are white supremacists in disguise or no disguise, as I've come to know, really. But you don't want to be homeless because that's the alternative. Like, if you're not busting your ass to live out here and do all the shit. And so it's easy to lose track of, or to lose priority of yourself and eating and exercising and doing all those things. Because you feel like, fuck, I do enough, I need to rest, and da-da-da. There's always a fine line between needing your rest and needing to do your work. Your work is not just like your job, but it is the healing of yourself that is always centered to everything that's going on. So even in your job, even in your career, the fact that you are very timid and like you kind of go along to get along, when deep down you know that things are wrong and you want to call them out and you want to be like, this is not right, or this is what we should do, or whatever, just speaking your truth and finding your voice and confidence to do that. And I feel like I've done that in jobs, especially in this cannabis industry, because I feel like there's a lot of space to say and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Clearly from the white ownership class who typically run these places. So who are you not to be authentic to what it is to be true, your values and your ethics, and call that shit out for what it is. Hey, you always looking for a new job anyway, so it is what it is. And get out there and connect with your community. Like, really get out there and connect with your community, because I feel like that's another piece that's missing. You feel like it's a lot of work. You feel like you have to make this thing happen on your own, and really, you just need to reach like-minded folks who also may feel the same way, at least to like brainstorm and talk to and like bounce ideas off each other, or just vent with, because everybody likes to vent, right? Everybody just likes to vent, but what if our venting could lead to something bigger, some kind of bigger grassroots movement? And I see that. I'm so inspired right now, because I do see that. I see that in the politics. I see that in militant groups. I see that in a lot of it's just very inspiring time right now, I guess, because what's his name is in office, so the resistance movements are very strong and powerful, and it's like, this is the time, really, this is the time to say what you mean and how you feel and stick with that shit, because more now than ever, our values are America's values are in question. The shit are like America's values are very in question, especially around the world with that nigga in office. So really, it's the time to do you and build. All right, so that was two things, and then the last thing, it's not so much. There's a lot going on in like my personal, romantic, dating, weird relationship buildings with folks. The last couple of years, I have been involved in open relationships. So I've been like dating people, and I had never dated people. Like, I was in a relationship very young, and I never really had an opportunity to date a lot of different people. And this experience, or dating people and getting to know different parts of yourself, has been thrilling. It has been such a thrilling time in my life. I feel like I'm really coming into who it is, or what it is I believe in, especially about love and sex and body and just owning all of this, owning everything that is inside of me, be it good, bad, nasty, whatever it is, just owning who you are and what you are. And it's been exciting, but it's also been very difficult. Being in different relationships with different folks, You have the other people's feelings to consider. You have other people's, emotions to consider, other people's traumas and triggers and shit to consider. So it is not just all fun and games and just wild sex and all this kind of shit. It's real as mirror holding, I feel like. I feel like that's what it's been. A very fucking mirror holding, like, oh, you didn't know who you was? Bam, this is who you are. This is what you do in relationship. This is how you respond to different things. This is what your fallback is. This is what you're used to doing versus what is right, or versus what you need to take control of. And I am very a firm believer that love, although it is a beautiful thing, it cannot save people. Like, it cannot save people from themselves. Like, my love for you will never be enough if you never love yourself enough, And I really need to work on loving myself enough before I can just be like, oh, you are my one and only. You're the, the all and the end all be all and shit. I'm going to forsake everybody else in life because you make me feel really good about myself, I want to feel good about myself before I even come to you. Like, I do. I want to feel whole. I want to feel like I know who I am, and I'm not just becoming the partner to what it is you are opposite of. I don't want to do that. I want to know what it is I believe in, and I want that to be okay with you. Just like I want you to know what you believe in, and that'll be okay with me. I like that in open relating, there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of, like, accountability, too. Like, not just because you're having sex with multiple people, but you are sharing energy. And if something is in your energy, like if something is going on with you, it is very easy to pick up on that shit. Especially if it's, it's clearly affecting you and how you are with me. And I know I didn't do shit to you. Like, I know I didn't just come and rain on your parade, but I'm learning to let my partners have their issues, like to have their own issues and not let it be my responsibility to solve these issues. If I am wrong, I will definitely, be accountable and hold myself accountable to what I did wrong and, and work to fix that. But I also have some things that are already within me that I need to be working on, and they reflect sometimes in how we communicate or how we don't communicate. Like I was saying earlier, like I'm used to people who love me abusing me in ways, and yet, so now, I'm here and this is just normal. But is this normal? I don't know. This is probably not how you want to be treated. This is probably not what you deserve, What do you deserve? What do you value? Finding that out, through life experiences has been everything. It has really saved me. It has really saved me. And though I've lost a lot, though I've been through a lot of transition and change, though I've experienced a lot of tragedy, heartbreak, and loss, I also feel like I have strengthened a part of me that was weak for a very long time. And that is my self-confidence. That is me believing that I deserve more, that I am more, that I am worthy of taking care of yourself. You are worthy of taking care of yourself. You are worthy of getting up a little earlier and not getting on your phone, the first thing you do in the morning. You are worthy of making breakfast and drinking water. You are worthy of healthy relationships with boundaries and with open, direct communication. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of success and happiness and healthiness. a healthy life. You are worthy of a healthy life. You are worthy of a life where you take the time to heal the pain and not just hold on to it and think that it'll fall off because you've been holding it for so long. You deserve to heal. You really deserve to heal. And I think that everyone, I think about my grandmas, my grandpa, people in my ancestry that are probably like, girl, yes, live. Live your life. Just live your life, you know? Don't worry about what other people think or say. Live your life. Be the person that we know you are. Yeah. So those are like the main things that are kind of holding me captive in the mind and the emotions. But speaking them out loud, I do think has helped. Well, definitely to address it. And this video is 16 minutes long, so I know this is for me. But yeah, so if you ever come back to this when you're feeling down,